Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with a very special episode of Battle Bites here in World of Tanks. I have unlocked my first Tier 10 tank in the game, the American Heavy tank, the T57 Heavy. And what I'm going to show you here is my very first game in the T57. And what I'm looking for is from all you professionals out there who have played this tank for a long time, critique my performance, tell me what I should have done differently, how I should maybe approach the tank differently. Do I need to be more aggressive, play more of a support role based on how I perform in this battle? Bearing in mind it is my first battle, I certainly have a good game, but there's much room for improvement, and it's by no means a fantastic game. So my first battle in the T57 Heavy is going to be a standard battle on mines, which is one of my favorite maps in the game. I think it's great for any class of tank you play, whether it's fast, lights, or mediums, brawling, heavies, or even artillery. There's a role for everybody. The map's not too big, not too small. So normally the hill is a big spot to be contested, and I noticed nobody on our team is going for it, so I'm going to at least try and post up here and make the other team pay for taking it, because they're going to get it. And there is a Leopard prototype, the Tier 9 German medium tank, and he's going up there along with an FV4-202, and I put 3 shots into that Leopard prototype, almost remove him from the game. And then my 4th shot goes into the back of our friendly Tiger 2 there, who backs up into my line of sight. So the T57 is a tank that's been, the T57 Heavy is a tank that's been around for a long time. You're probably familiar with it. The story here is the gun. It has a 4-shot, 120mm auto-loading gun with 400 damage, average damage per shell, and 2 seconds in between each shot, and a 22-second, give or take, depending on equipment, reload for the entire clip. So I'm reloaded here. The FV4-202 is poking up trying to spot, and I sneak a nice shot into the side of his turret there, and I'm going to go back to this bush. Again, I would like to have pushed the center to try and control the map a little bit more, but nobody on my team went up there, so I decided to play a little denial here. And there's another turret shot into the FV4-202 as he's poking over the ridge trying to spot the defenders we have back in this part of the map. So one of the struggles I had going through the grind of the T54E1, the Tier 9 tank that leads to the T57 Heavy, was the gun handling. And I'm going to hold up for a minute here. Missed my first shot on the Leopard prototype, but he stays there, poked over the edge, and I'm able to sneak my 2nd shot into him. That's my first kill in this tank, and I'm able to remove him from the game. I do see a T54 Russian Tier 9 medium tank here, but I'm in the middle of reloading my clips. I'm not going to get shots on him, but he's removed from the game. So, T54E1, the tank before this one, was a lot of fun to play, but I really struggled with the gun handling. From anything other than close brawling range, the accuracy of the tank really suffers and has trouble hitting weak points, and you kind of need to do that in that tank because it comes up against some heavy Tier 9 tanks such as the E75 and a lot of Tier 10 tanks such as the E100, Mouse, the Jaegeru, even the Jagdtiger, where it struggles to pen if you're not finding those weak points. And so I've played now about a dozen games in the T57 Heavy, and I can say that the gun handling is good, the penetration is better, so even if you're missing the weak points, you're going to go through as long as you're being smart about your shot selection. But even without that, the gun just seems to be more accurate and handle a little better than the T54E1 did. So I'm thoroughly enjoying the tank so far. So we're reloaded, and again, we're trying to hold this spot down. We're up 5-3 in the game, so things look like they're going well at this point. Certainly we don't have control of the hill, and we don't have control of the center, but we have won the western flank. We're all the way down to the far island, looking into their base, and we seem to be holding the town. Certainly not winning the town, but at least holding our ground there. So I'm reloaded, and I see the T110E5. That's the other Tier 10 American heavy tank, and he's poking over there. And I'm able to put 3 shots into him in return for just taking 1. I think only my turret was showing there, but the turret on this tank, unless you're shooting right at the gun, it's not really going to afford you many bounces. So I emptied my clip, I went for the reload there, and we'll jump ahead a couple seconds just so you don't have to watch me sit in a bush for about 15-20 seconds while I reload my clip. And we're back into it here. So our eastern flank has fallen, the enemy has won the town, and an M48 Patton, a Tier 10 American medium tank, starts pushing up to flank our rear guard for the hill. But I'm able to catch him in the open, pump 3 shots into him, and remove him from the game. And that's my 2nd kill, and then I go for a quick reload here. And so the reload on this tank is about 22 seconds. Again, another big difference from the T54E1, which is about 30 to 33 seconds for the reload. So here, I probably make a mistake. I see that Carnarvon advancing, a tier 8 heavy tank. The scores are close. I'm trying to support this guy. So I rush up here to try and get into a position where I can provide some covering fire for him. But he gets melted. Tier 8 heavy tank, he just had a lot of focus fire. Nobody else had anything to shoot at but him. And he's removed very quickly from the game. And I'm in a bit of an awkward position now. I've got tanks in front of me, I've got tanks on the hill above me, and we've pretty much lost the city, so I can't back out and go around that way either. I could retreat back down to the spot that I was just in, but I'd have to cross this open ground again, and I feel like I'd present my flank to this E50 in front of me, as well as the enemy tanks on the hill. So we're just going to have to live with this position for now, and hopefully punish anybody that tries to unroot me from this spot. So you can see I'm constantly poking forward, pulling back. I'm worried that this tier 10 tank from the top of the hill here is going to poke over and have shots at my rear. So again, I'm pulling back, trying to spot him for my allies down in the valley where I just was earlier. I'm hoping that they can cover me, and then here I finally get the idea. Maybe I can tell these guys or ask them, hey, keep an eye on that hill, cover me, and I'll advance forward. And great, I do get an acknowledgement that they would do that, so I feel like it's safe for me to come forward and try to put on some pressure here. Because the scores are still 9-7, we're still up. We should still be in control here if we can do some good work. Although now it's 9-8, and the enemy is really pulling this back, and it's going to be a close fight. So there's the E50 tier 9 German medium tank, and I put my first shot into him, tracking him, but he immediately repairs it and pulls back. So now I think I've got a shot at his cupola, but he advances forward, and I miss another shot, and then I am able to put my fourth into his side. That was a sloppy engagement with that E50. I feel like part of it was luck. I mean, I did put a tracking shot into him, but he immediately repaired it, so it's good he had to use his repair kit, but that forced me to miss my second shot. And then I was aiming for his cupola. I thought he was going to stay in cover there, but he popped out. I adjusted my aim, missed again. So not a great trade for this tank, which should be able to trade 4 shots, emptying the clip for 1 in exchange in most ideal circumstances. So I have 1 in the clip there, but again, need to go for the reload. Having 1 in the clip's not really going to do me much good against something that charges around this corner at me. And all of a sudden, things are not looking good. It is 10-10. We have a heavy tank, a tier 10 heavy tank, hiding out in the corner up there in A1. So it's actually like we're down a tank right now. I'm not sure what he's doing over there, but he's not helping out the team. So there is the Waffenträger E100. Man, he flies around the corner, puts 2 big shells into me, and I try to fire back into him. I connect there with a shot, but miss a shot as well. Thankfully, I survive. His third shot did hit the rock face and wasn't able to take me out. So I pull back into cover, and again, go for the reload. I am now a 1 hit for pretty much any gun that's going to be left in the game, barring an extremely low roll. I don't think there's any light tanks with low caliber guns remaining at this point. So I'm kind of trying to hold my ground, and I've had a good fight for my first battle in this tank. 13 penetrating hits so far, 2 kills. I feel like I've done a decent job, but I would like to get a win for my first game, and certainly any more damage that I can do would be welcome. So we've got the clip reloaded. Again, we're looking around, and our rear guard has completely fallen from the town. So I've got enemies in front, enemies behind. I'm constantly swiveling the turret here, trying to keep an eye on things so I don't let any of these enemies get the jump on me, but it's not looking good. Finally, our tier 10 heavy tank that was asleep in A1 has joined the fight. Better late than never, I guess. And we're going to try and see if we can push in one of these directions and maybe get lucky and overwhelm that flank, and then maybe be able to close in the trap on the rest of the tanks, but certainly not looking good. So this guy's on full health, as he should be if he's been camping in our base for most of the game. He goes out and starts to engage the Waffenträger, and I'm trying to come out to put shots in to help him, but he's blocking me. I do get out, completely miss the first shot, bounce 1, which is nice, put 2 in, and then the Waffenträger connects on his 5th shot of his clip to remove me from the game. So there it is, my first battle in the T57 Heavy, and I do not survive. and we're down to one tank here who will very shortly be cleaned up, and I do not get a win either in my first win. The enemy still had 4 of their tier 10s left. Their tier 10s played a solid game. So a quick look at the post results battle. That was a defeat with 2 kills, 5,500 damage, which was great, 711 XP, which I thought was a little low for doing 5,500 damage, only coming away with 711 XP. I know it was a loss, and I am in a tier 10 tank, but I did do some damage to some other tier 10, so I thought that number would be higher, and as you can see, that did not even qualify as a 3rd class mastery badge. But on the plus side, I did gain 20,000 profit in silver for a tier 10 battle in which I lost my tank. So just a closer look at the post results here. 24 shots, 18 hits, all 18 penetrated, and again, there were a lot of shots there that were up through the cliff face from those enemies that were trying to spot us. So can't be too disappointed with that. All in all, I thought that was a pretty good game. So please leave a comment below. Tell me anything you want to tell me about the T57 Heavy tank, either in general or critiquing my performance that we just witnessed. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will catch you next time. Thanks.